Welcome back inside the Tucson Convention Center. Our final score here this evening, the Wranglers 46 and the Tucson Sugar Skulls 48. James Poovey alongside my broadcast partners, Mr. Ed Cole and Kevin Derryberry. Gentlemen, a tough loss here to say the least for the Wranglers. They had this game in the bag and then a crazy last minute or 45 seconds of regulation. What happened, guys?
Kevin, I don't know I'm still trying to process what us three and everybody in this arena just saw. What did you see?
We're at a loss for words in some cases, right? I had the three adjective to kind of describe things as things went along. At one point, it was perfection. There was a chance, a really good chance that the Wranglers would beat the Sugar Skulls here and remain undefeated against the Sugar Skulls at 2-0. And then at one point, Mr. Fisher, our place kicker, was perfect at 5 for 5 in his place kicking duties. Obviously, the block there in overtime was ultra critical here. And then I thought, the Northern Arizona Wranglers could literally steal victory out of the jaws of defeat, right? Snatch it. And that didn't happen either. So to think all this would culminate in 3 overtimes and the turf monster would take out Verlon Reed Jr., and that's how this game would come to its culmination. It's just disappointing.
Absolutely unfathomable.
It's very disappointing because they had a 34-23 lead. They were down 20-17 at the half. Then he went on a run after they were down those points, and then just fortunes changed, things changed in the course of a football game. And then I don't know if we want to get really critical on the refs, but the refs got really, really involved in the football game. And it's really hard, Kevin and James, when the refs get involved in a football game and they change the fortunes of a football team and the way things run.
I think we always want to allow the players to, settle the outcome on the playing field. And, yeah, we had some calls tonight that were suspect, if nothing else, from our vantage point. We didn't get the best looks. There was the game-winning touchdown. I thought that ball might have moved around. I thought that ball was loose. I thought the ball hit the turf. You could barely see, that white ball move a little bit. But, credit Ty Druce and his group that they looked at it several times. I thought, and even the delays with the replays, right, and the challenges, they were lengthy. They were very timely, and then the results were less than stellar for the Wranglers in most cases. So it was just, like you said, Ed, it was a tough pill to swallow. It was just mind-boggling in many ways. We said 9 lives going along there. Here we are in Wildcat country, and who would think that the Wranglers would be so close to caving in and knocking down this door and coming out of here with a dub. But, many, many inroads, a lot of great things that we saw here from this football team, but uncharacteristic miscues in the fourth quarter, and then in overtime, they were outplayed.
Yeah, you talk about it all the time, guys. You got to play for the full amount of time until that final whistle, and unfortunately the Wranglers not able to do that here tonight. But some bright spots. They played hard. They kept battling all night long, and they had chance after chance after chance, but just could not put this Sugar Skulls team away.
Yeah, James, Kevin, this is the Landrick Brody coach team. They're not going to give up. They're never going to fall, no matter what the deficit is in the game. They're never going to feel bad about themselves or feel sorry for themselves if they go on the sidelines and say, oh, woe is us. We're down. We're just going to go ahead and cower down and let you get a victory. They're going to fight back and fight for the entire 60 minutes plus 3 extra overtimes.
You thought, if there was any question, are these guys coaching? What are they doing here? Everybody left everything out on the field. Landrick Brody was animated tonight. He was pumped up. He was playing to the crowd early on in this game. You saw Dixie Wooten out there doing his thing. Again, they questioned the officials. They tried to ice kickers. You had 2 teams with brand new kickers. They both got iced tonight at least once. And it was just, it was going to ultimately be a battle of attrition, but who would make the least amount of mistakes in this one? And I think we saw the result there, 48-46, the victors to the Sugar Skulls. And for the Sugar Skulls, the beat goes on for them. They win their 2nd in a row, and they continue those dash for a playoff hopes. And for the Wranglers, they lose their 5th consecutive game, and they've got to go back to the drawing board and shore some things up.
Very tough, yeah. Let me see what you got here. As far as numbers, we talked about this. They had double the amount of plays that Tucson did, 62-31. They had 299 yards of offense. They held Tucson to 195 yards of offense, 6 for 11 on third downs. They had the ball for 38 minutes, James and Kevin, but the end result is a loss.
Absolutely.
So all these numbers mean nothing if you don't come away with a victory.
Exactly right. They dominated the time of possession, and they were in the ballgame the entire night, but unfortunately just not able to close the deal here in Pima County tonight against these Tucson Sugar Schools. But you guys mentioned it, back to the drawing board. The team will go back, they'll make adjustments, and they'll come back out and make some improvements during the week of practice.
Absolutely, they have to.
James Brania-Hop, really a bright spot in this football game tonight. 80 yards of receiving, a touchdown reception for him. Skylar Clinton with 2 more touchdowns for him. I think he has 8 now, 4 rushing, 4 receiving. And just this football team, Terrence Bynum, a big touchdown reception for him. I think that was his 7th of the year. The timeliness of Bynum coming in. Bynum came in for Brania-Hop, provided some size. And, it goes back to Terrence Bynum being that selfless player, was sitting on the bench for most of this game as Brania-Hop was really doing some damage as Furlon Reed Jr. found some nice chemistry with James Brania-Hop. JJ, as we call him, and he got banged up on that play. He tried to go for the end zone there. It looked like he had a clear path to the end zone. Credit the Sugar Skulls defense. They came in there, they knifed him, they took him out, and they literally took him out of the game. And I think that was a big blow for this offense because he had almost 8 receptions, I think, tonight. So 5 for 80. It's just a fantastic game for James Brania-Hop. When he went down, the offense changed a little bit.
It did. And folks and guys, let's give Brandon Fisher some props. He came in a very tough situation on a short week that he came in. He was almost perfect except for that missed field goal and then that extra point that got blocked. So regardless of that, I know those things factored in, but still he had a phenomenal game for him coming in at the last second.
He did indeed.
For Fish, you can't teach or set up those game type situations in practice. I mean, you could do all the things, the fire drills, the noise, the loud music, have the players make it, crazy. But for Fish, he did come in there. He was pretty effective tonight, and he just went in there and he did it like with ice water in his veins. He just went up there and just drilled it through the uprights tonight. He was a bright spot in this team tonight again in a really tough situation.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of bright spots. I know the darkest spot is the loss, but there are still a lot of things that they can carry forth into practice next week as they get ready for their third of this road trip, third road game, as they get ready to end this thing and we come back home for 3 straight.
Think about it. Everybody's learning again. We go back to that expansion word because it is true. 1-9, 1-10 now, 5 straight losses. Bringing in new guys each and every week. The coaching staff has changed. And so now guys are in new roles. David Moran calling the defense tonight. I thought he did an admirable job. I thought the clock management was much better tonight. Still some cases where you might scratch your head a couple times there. But I thought the play calling was consistent for the most part. But then in that second half, maybe we credit the Sugar Skulls. They did some things different defensively to maybe change our approach in that play calling. But I thought some of the plays that were called late, especially before our first overtime. I thought that play on a 3rd and goal to Skylar Clinton, I just thought I wanted to see him throw the ball in the end zone, at least take a chance right there.
Yeah, instead of that run, he tried to run up the middle.
That did a little delay there. And, obviously Skylar Clinton, he's got the propensity to find the goal line. In this particular case, the Skulls defense was right there, but I would like to see them throw the ball in the end zone in that sequence.
We talked about it off the air as well, guys. We'd like to see him get Terrence Bynum a little bit more involved since he was in the ball game for Brania-Hop after he went out with the injury and maybe play a little bit of jump ball with the 6'5" height right there. But nevertheless, the Wranglers fall here inside the Tucson Convention Center tonight to the Sugar Skulls by the score of 48-46. We're going to get ready to head back to the Phoenix metro area. Once again, thanks for tuning in and joining us here for the pregame, halftime festivities, and the postgame here on the Wranglers YouTube channel. Once again, 48-46. The Sugar Skulls get the victory here tonight over the Wranglers. For my partners, Ed Cole and Kevin Derryberry, I'm James Poovey saying so long from Tucson, Arizona. We'll catch you next time. We'll be live back home on August the 15th. That game on a Sunday afternoon against the Massachusetts Pirates, 3:05 kickoff. We'll see you then.
Good night.
Go Wranglers. Awesome.
Done.